Hey, leaders, happy Monday. Hope your Monday is off to a good start. Your week's off to a good start. Monday's winding down. Have a thought I just want to walk through with you for the next couple minutes, give you something to think about, challenge you a little bit for the week. And it's this idea of a continuum of fear that I think every leader is on, and they're somewhere on this continuum. And I just sort of want to talk you through it. I got it up here on the board behind. So at one end of the continuum, we have total control. And at the other end of the continuum, we have total passivity. Now, again, I think every leader is somewhere on this continuum. And what I want to do is I want to challenge you to think about, where are you on this continuum? So on the end of total control, those are leaders who it's my way or the highway. They hang on to everything. They use phrases like, well, brutally honest. I'm just being brutally honest. In reality, brutally honest just means I'm going to tell you exactly what I think, and I really don't care how you feel about it. In fact, I would argue that some people, they can't be honest unless they're brutal. They would say, well, I'm just going to call it. I'm just going to call it like I'm going to call it like I see it. These are the leaders that they need to know every decision that's made in the organization. These are the guys who go, my team, my organization, my company, they can't run without me. I have to be there. I have to have every decision. And what that is it's their need for control. It's their ego. It's their pride, hanging on to everything. These are the guys who rule with an iron fist. They challenge every dollar that's spent. They challenge every decision that's made. And they lead with total control. At the other end of the continuum, you have total passivity. These are the guys who are really worried about the court of public opinion. They don't want to make anybody mad. They have a hard time with hard conversations where guys down at that end, they have no issue flat out running over somebody in a conversation to get their way, to get their point across. Guys down here at this end, they tiptoe around things all the time. In fact, you will have leaders at this level, when asked a question and they know people aren't going to like the answer, they'll go, well, let me find out. Well, I'm not sure, let me find out. And then they come back and go, hey, I asked and they said no. They said. And what they do every time they go, they said, they have given away all of their authority as a leader, and they just begin to have no weight at all to their words. So somewhere on there between total control and total passivity, I sit. Somewhere you sit. So where you are on the continuum has to do with a couple of things. It has to do with leaders that you've interacted with. And you've had a leader you've interacted with, and you decide, I like that. I like that style. That style got results. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to model that. And you become that. You had maybe a coach that was in total control. And so as a leader, you demand total control, and you rule with that same iron fist. Maybe you had that person who was in total control and you said, I will never be that way. I will never do that. And you end up swinging completely the other way. Or maybe you had a leader that was a complete pushover, held no one accountable, never had a hard conversation. And you said, I will never be that guy. I will never be that woman. I'm going to be completely over here. And so you swing the other way. The other area of your life you need to look at to determine where you are on this continuum of fear and how you lead is look at your personal life. Look at how you grew up. Where would you put your parents on this continuum? Was your dad someone who ruled with complete control? And so you've decided, I will never be him. And so you're completely the opposite, because I guarantee where your parents are on that continuum, they impact you as a leader. I guarantee where they were on that continuum impacts in your professional and personal relationships. If you had a mom who was completely controlling, you decided, I will never be controlled by another woman again. And so every personal relationship you enter into impacts that and the way you interact with those folks. We're all on this continuum somewhere. The question is if you draw this continuum out on a sheet of paper, total control on one end, total passivity on the other, put an X on where you are. Where are you on that continuum today? Right now, as of Monday afternoon, where are you at on that continuum? Where do you want to be on that continuum? Where do you want to try to move to? Hopefully it's moving back more towards the middle, regardless of where you are. And then ask yourself this: if you put an X where you are and you put a G for the goal of where you want to be on that continuum, what do you have to do to get there? What do you have to do to move from someone who's a little too passive to maybe being a little more assertive in your leadership? What do you have to do to move from someone who's maybe a little too assertive, holding on too tight, to someone who's going to let go a little bit? What do you have to do? I guarantee it doesn't have to do with hiring better people. It doesn't have to do with improving the process. It doesn't have to do with newer equipment. It's you. You're the issue. It's you, and it's only you. And so what are you going to do? It's going to take you looking inside. It's going to take you asking yourself some really hard questions. It's going to take you going back to a moment in your life that you would just as soon forget, that you swore you would never talk about again. It's going to take going back there, because it's only when we go back, not to blame, not to look for excuses, but to address. It's only when we go back do we ever have a real opportunity of moving forward. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Where are you at on this continuum? I just thought of this thing up over the weekend, so maybe it's maybe you just think it's just full of baloney. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are. If I can help in any way, shape, or form, please don't hesitate to reach out. It's Monday afternoon. Kill it the rest of the week. I really, really hope you guys have a great week.